You guys won almost every category. Of course, the two that stand out, three-point shooting, they had made more threes. A lot of those came early on, but then, of course, free throws, a dominant number in VCU's favor. What do you come out of the locker room as your first thoughts after the game?
I was really proud of our effort and grit. I think it felt like they made their first 5 threes, maybe it was 4 of the first 5. And we were able to just kind of dig in and play well. And then in the second half, they got a bigger lead, and we really fought. I thought that our tenacity and grit and all those things showed up. I'm really proud of how we played. I wish we could have, done a few more things or a little bit sooner, a little bit better, but I'm really proud of how we played. And, thought that we got, Mike Walz, I thought, played great. Jaden Daughtry played great. AJ Lopez really played. Colin Tanner gave us a big lift. We were tough and good. And, the free throw discrepancy is troubling because we've gotten to the foul line a lot this year, and I felt like we were aggressive. So, but I'm proud of our guys, and this is a great rivalry for many reasons. And when we can hang in and compete and be tough, it makes us feel good about our effort.
In a place where things can snowball and do for a lot of the traveling teams, you guys went down by 17, but then came back and cut it to a 2-possession game late. What was the key for your guys keeping composure?
Well, I thought we defended well. I thought that we made them have longer possessions. They're excellent in transition, really excellent, because any of their guys will take the ball and push the ball in transition. That's hard because then you got 5 guys running down the floor, and you got to make sure you stop that. I thought we did a good job of getting them in a half court, and then I thought we defended. We fouled a little bit too much, I guess, but I thought we defended, and that was probably the key. And then Mike had a good game. They switch, which we switch a lot also, but they'll switch 1 through 5, and I thought Mike took advantage of that, and Jaden Daughtry took advantage of that when he had the ball in the low post.
I was just going to say, you're a little shorthanded, obviously, at the center position, but Daughtry and Walz did a really tough job for you tonight, especially in the second half during that comeback.
They did. I think I thought everybody. I thought they had 10 offensive rebounds, I believe, at the half, but only finished with 12. So I thought we cleaned that up. And what you're doing there is it's mostly effort. You're trying to find a guy and have a body on a guy. So yeah, I thought we defended, and then defensively rebounded much better in the second half, which gives you so many more opportunities at the basket.
Tough skid here for you guys, but you come back with another home game on Saturday against Davidson. How do you keep this locker room feeling good about the things that you saw that you liked tonight?
Yeah, I think that basketball season is long and winding and difficult. But I do, I told the guys that I was really proud of our effort, really proud, and that we can compete, we can play, we can do these things. Of course we have to clean up plenty of things, but we can compete and play. And we need to take care of our home court. We haven't been good enough at the Robins Center, and hopefully Saturday we get ourselves on the right track.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Matt.
Mike, I know you talked about it after the game at GW, how significant these games against VCU are. Talk about how you feel about the way you guys played tonight, going down big by 17, but cutting it to a 2-possession game late. Never said quit tonight.
Yeah, I certainly think that we started terribly. I mean, the Siegel Center is such a hard place to play. Getting off to that start is really not what we were looking for, but the way that we battled back and fought, especially in the second half, I think it was like 40 points, getting to the line, making our shots. I thought we did a really good job of staying composed under pressure that the VCU team likes to apply. I think there's a lot of great steps and a lot of great signs that we displayed today. Guys like Jaden Daughtry are, finally finding their groove back in the offense. Everybody's just kind of feeling a lot better about the role within the team. So, of course, want to get this win, but excited for the next couple weeks.
In the second half especially, it looked like there was kind of a different type of a game plan or an effort going to try to get you guys the ball more and get to the basket, and you guys really were able to convert on those looks that you got inside.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, the post touches are such a big part of the Princeton offense, and the weeks previous I feel like we didn't do a great job of getting the ball down low, and I talked to my guards, talked to my wings, coaching staff certainly preached it as well, just get the ball down low. I mean, felt like today they couldn't really do much to stop me. I was creating and scoring, which is why I came here to the University of Richmond in the first place, was to have that opportunity. And so I'm glad that I'm able to display it. Hopefully when we play them at our place, there's a little bit more of urgency from the stripes. But
Well, and that's, you look at the stat sheet from this game, the Spiders end up coming ahead in most of the categories. 3-point shooting, VCU made more threes. They made a bunch of those early, though. They got out to a hot start shooting behind the arc. You guys were able to slow them down a little bit in the second half. But the free throw line, how frustrating is that as the game goes along when you actually relinquish 12 more attempts than you're able to take?
yeah, it's really I'm a calm, collected guy, I like to think. It's hard to be out there with some of the things that are happening on the court that we really can't control that much. But I thought the guys did a pretty decent job of staying even-keeled. Certainly, we're not going to have that many calls go against us, I think, in the Robbins Center. And we're looking forward to. I mean, I think also we try to come in here with a certain level of physicality. It's VCU. That's just the brand of basketball they've played. And I thought we really were physical tonight, and it didn't reward us as much as we thought.
Well, and so what about that? When you look at coming to the Siegel Center, a place where teams can fold under the pressure because it can be a really daunting place to play, when you guys got down big, the composure you guys showed, talk to me about some of the guys that were here playing in this game for the very first time and how they were able to keep a level head and be able to help with that comeback.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge, especially, thinking for the freshmen, Aiden and Will Harper and Jalen, those guys that really haven't seen extended time in conference rivalries. VCU's, I think, is one of the hardest places to play in my 4 years. And I thought they did a pretty good job. I mean, they'll see this place plenty more times. But I think it's a great step for their development, not only, on the court, but between the ears. And I thought they did a great job of handling the pressure tonight.
Obviously a tough stretch with a couple of these losses that you guys have suffered. Back home against Davidson on Saturday, a chance to get back on the winning track in conference play. Still a long way to go in the conference schedule. How, as the kind of leader and elder statesman of this team, do you try to keep these guys together and know that you've got that ahead of you?
Yeah, we've played some of the toughest teams, not only in the conference but in the country in these last couple of weeks. And, we've had our highs and lows. And, certainly Davidson is a very gettable opponent. Going into the rest of February and March, I think we have a fantastic opportunity to put everything together. We've been working on these since the conference season started. I think we just have shown really great flashes, just about keeping each other together. I mean, losses, wins happen, especially these great teams that have loaded up on their rosters with talent. Things are going to happen. Whistles are not going to go your way. Plays are not going to go your way. It's just about making sure these guys are new to the program, but also the young guys that haven't been here are staying with the program, staying okay and even keeled between the ears, and making sure that we're working towards something better in March.
Before I let you go, you talked about the physicality tonight. A couple plays, you found yourself on the floor. A couple noticeable winces and pain. How are you feeling coming out? How's the ankle?
I feel all right. The adrenaline's certainly wearing off, but a couple ankle tweaks, a couple pushes in the back, some of those things don't get called, whatever. I feel okay. Ready to head on to the next one.
All right, Mike, good luck on Saturday.
Thank you, Matt.